Hello, it is Topical Tuesday, July 17th, 2018. Steve Sipress here on a spectacular, beautiful summer day in sunny Arizona. No monsoons, no rain in the forecast today, at least not right here. As I see, there's some vicious rain clouds a few miles away. But anyway, so what the heck? Everyone, not almost everyone, is going absolutely ape-bat crazy over this whole nonsense of this Russian meddling in the United States election in 2016. Like, first of all, newsflash, the Russians are meddling in the election. Like, name one election, name one activity in all of America that the Russians haven't meddled in for the last 70 years. So number one, give me a break. Number two, I had to look up this word meddling in the dictionary, and it says something like to interfere without invitation. Ooh, how awful, how vicious, to interfere. Like, that's like the most mild thing you can say about anybody. So is anybody all upset and thinking and going and indicting Russians over, like, shooting Americans or even punching Americans in the face? No, meddling, interfering, big bad Russia interfering. Well, first of all, now I'll bet you can find one somewhere. Oh, some people are showing up. Sorry about the glare, I can't see the names, but thanks. I see a light going across the screen. Thanks for like. But anyway, so here's the deal. I'll bet somebody can somewhere find some American who's so naive and has their head so far up their butt that they really believe somehow that the U.S. and all of our undercover CIA, FBI, whatever the heck you call it, are somehow not spying on Russians. Like somehow Americans, the U.S. is totally innocent here because we never meddle in anything in the world. Not only do we meddle, which is such a ridiculous word, but we do send in troops all over the world whenever we feel like it. We send up ships and we shoot off 49 Tomahawk missiles whenever we feel like it into someone else's civil war when it's none of our business. Or we actually assassinate world leaders of other countries that we don't like. I mean, our last president actually was caught tapping the cell phone of the Chancellor of Germany, our supposed ally. Give me a break, tapping her cell phone, and also meddling, interfering in the Israeli election because he doesn't like the leader of Israel and trying to affect that one. I mean, this is what the U.S. does every day. And the Russians do it too, and so do the Chinese, and so do the Iranians, and so does England, France. I can't believe there's a civilized first world country in all of Earth. Second world, whatever. There isn't a third world country that doesn't meddle and interfere in everything going on in everyone's country. That's just what happens. So here's the deal. People are like all criticizing Trump for like, I see a comment here. George says, you go, brother. I am going. Am I on a rant or what? It's Topical Tuesday. We're talking about something in the news. Nothing to do with business, but I'm sure there's a business lesson in here. But anyway, so here's the deal. Trump goes over to Russia. And all the anti-Trumpers come out of the woodwork, and every dishonest media person, anti-Trumper, politician, pundit, you name it, and all kinds of, if you look at social media, all kinds of just plain American citizens that have bought into this crap are proving how stupid we are. The pundits, the politicians just know how stupid Americans are that we believe this crap, that when they say, I'm outraged that Trump didn't challenge Putin when he got behind closed doors and tell him, challenge him on the matter. So let's think about this, okay? Has anyone thought about this? So in public, it all sounds great. Oh, I'm anti-meddling. Oh, the Russians are terrible. Oh, Rosenstock, we have indictments. Yeah, indictments of people that have never even been to America. They're never coming to America. We're never going to prosecute. Talk about an empty indictment. Talk about a do-nothing person trying to prove that he's doing something. I mean, give me a break. But anyway, they're proven right that Americans are so stupid that we all get in an uproar and go like, yeah, Trump didn't bring up meddling in the private meeting with Putin. Well, has anyone thought about this? Let's think about how that conversation would go. So out in the public, Trump goes, yeah, that's bad. Putin would go, yeah, that's bad. And everyone can go, that's bad. But in private, could anyone imagine, could Trump really say, hey, Putin, by the way, stop that meddling? Like, could he really say that? You know what that would be like? Here's what that would be like. Let me take you back, give you a little taste of Throwback Thursday, to my college days of living in a dorm as a college freshman, sophomore, before I moved off campus my junior year. And I was known to, newsflash, challenge authority, right? I'm not one for like rules and regulations and authority telling me what I got to do. I'm American. I'm pro-freedom. So I would crank my stereo up to 11. What's that movie? Stonehenge, Spinal Tap style. I would just crank that thing up like you wouldn't believe. And I had a big honking stereo. And those big speakers, remember those days? Like 40 years ago. And I would crank that thing up like crazy. Well, of course, everyone would complain. And invariably, just about every day, it was called an RA. So what's that? A resident assistant or hall monitor, whatever this hall monitor. Person gets a dorm room down at the end, and they're in charge of like overseeing the freshmen. And he would come knock on the door and go turn the thing down. And I do the old phantom thing where I'd go like this in my hand, but not really touch the dial. And then I go, is that better? And, in the beginning, the first few times, he'd go, yeah, that's good. And then later he realized it was a phantom turn down. He'd go, dude, turn it down. But anyway, so here I am. I'm the guy, right, who cranks the stereo up unbelievably, practically shattering the windows of everyone in every room around me. And I'm cranking up David Bowie and the Rolling Stones and the Who and you name it. We're having a blast. And so now what if one day I decide, gee, I got a test tomorrow. I got to study. I'm way behind the way I went through college. I didn't crack a book. I didn't go to a class until right before the test. So now I got to cram. I got to study. I need peace and quiet. I'm not cranking up my stereo today. Right? That's very reasonable. However, lo and behold, on this day, one of my neighbors decides he's going to turn his stereo up to about 4. It's kind of loud. And this could be the guy in the dorm room below me, above me, next to me, across the hall, down the hall, you name it. He's fairly close, cranks it up to 4 or 5. Well, clearly I can't concentrate, and I can't study for my exam that's important to me. And so I get a little upset here. I'm like, that's pretty inconsiderate. How dare he play loud music when I'm trying to study? Now, first of all, could you imagine me having that reaction? And then could you imagine me doing what all the anti-Trump pundits and politicians say he should have done? That I could actually walk down the hall, knock on this guy's door with a straight face and go, hey, dude, you got to turn down the stereo. It's too loud. Can you think about the absurdity of that? Would he just laugh in my face? Would he punch me? Would he pick up a baseball bat and smash me over the head? Because I can tell you what, it's the most hypocritical thing on earth. Seriously, can you imagine Donald Trump, the country with, we got the most of everything. We have the most government employees. We have the most spies. We have the most spy agencies. We have the best equipment. We have the most of all this stuff. We are spying on, meddling in, you name it. First of all, aside, we're not meddling in the Russian election, by the way, because Putin wins by like 99% to 1. So if we're not going to change 51% of the votes, it's not worth meddling in their election. But if there was any kind of a close Russian election, does anyone think for 1 second the U.S. wouldn't meddle in it? I can't even say it with a straight face. We would do anything we could to meddle in the Russian Olympics. We mess with everything else they do. We mess with everything everyone does. We're America, damn it. That's what we do. Just look around the world. Everyone hates us because that's what we do. We have our troops in practically every country. We got our bombers and our warships off the coast of every country. We challenge everything everybody does because we're the big bad U.S. and blah, blah, blah. And so now, when somebody else meddles in something we do, really, can you picture it behind closed doors? Trump is really going to close the door and go, hey, Vlad, you got to cut out this meddling. Now, would Putin, A, laugh hysterically, B, punch him in the face, C, pick up a baseball bat and smash Trump over the head? Anyway, it wouldn't amount to anything. It's not even a serious conversation. And yet that doesn't stop all the dishonest media politicians and all the stupid Americans from getting inflamed over the thing, as if it's even possible for Trump to challenge Putin on meddling in anything going on in the U.S. It's the dumbest, stupidest thing I've ever heard. Talk about unhinged. All these anti-Trumpers are more deranged and unhinged than you could ever believe. Americans are proving how stupid we are. We actually are sitting there going like, yeah, it's outrageous that Trump didn't call him on something that we do 10 times as much as they do. Like, holy cremoli. Anyway, that's it. See, I'm now working up a sweat. Not only is it 100-something degrees out here, but I'm getting all bent out of shape. And Kevin's here and says, love you, dude. Thank you, Kevin. And anybody else, again, I got too much of a glare out here. I apologize. I can't see the names of and all the comments and the likes when I saw them coming across the screen. I appreciate it. I don't know if you feel the same way, different way. If different way, first of all, go ahead. It's a free country. You can feel a different way. But you want to seriously tell me that you believe that that America would have the upper hand and the moral authority to challenge any other country in the world on too much spying and too much meddling and sticking their nose where it doesn't belong too much? Give me a break. We are the number one violator of that for the last way before since I was born. So give me a break. Anyway, speaking of a break, that's it for Topical Tuesday. Thanks for all the likes, loves, everything else that's going on. Thanks everyone being here live, watching on Wednesday. Well, I will share a piece of my wisdom that's got something to do with helping you build your business. We'll get back to business tomorrow, and I hope you will be here then. Thanks for being here today. Over and out. Oh, Tony is here. Tony says, preach it, Brother Steve. Right? Am I right? Am I right or am I wrong, Tony? You tell me. Am I wrong about this? Give me a break. Catch you tomorrow, everyone. Bye-bye. Can't hit the button while I'm holding the ice pack behind the camera so the camera doesn't overheat. I can do it now. I got my other hand free. Bye-bye.